everybody else coming into the country enjoying the benefits except the indigenous people.
I have mouths to feed. I have families. These folks have family to feed.
Rise up, take your position. Rise up, make that decision. God will provide all your needs. He wants you to succeed. Have faith of a mustard seed. Get up on your feet. Rise up.
Hello, welcome to the Drexel SEMA show. And today I'm going to meet with one of the vendors from the Sapodilla Bay, along with, as a consultant, I believe, right?
Yeah.
As I say. We're going to talk about the controversy that is taking place with the vendors, receive notice to remove all structures from that location. And so we're going to talk about that today. We're going to hear the views. We want to see what can be done. Is anything going to be done about it? And with that said, I want to welcome Jerome Rigby and Mr. Clyde Robinson to the Drexel SEMA show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, before we start, I'd like for you to introduce yourself.
My name is Jerome Rigby. I'm a citizen of loyal Turks and Islander. I've been in hospitality over 20 years.
Okay.
I've been in the restaurant business overall 20 years, sorry. I've been on Sapodilla Bay Beach for almost 9 years now, going on 9 years now.
Okay.
I have also acquired a long time in the service industry where we specialize in concierge, front office, domestic, catering, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm well-rounded.
Okay.
So I felt like I took all of everything that I've learned and put it into one.
Okay.
That gave me the opportunity to have and own what I have right now.
What is the name of your business?
My business name is a business called Conky Conky.
Conky. Okay. Conky. That's right. You sell everything there, Conky.
We sell everything. We sell
Crack conch.
every conch item you need. We have it on the menu.
Oh, I have to try that one time.
We have some curry conch, grilled conch, conch fritters there.
So your conch fritters is real conch fritters?
My conch fritters is real conch fritters.
We got these conch fritters around here. They call it conch fritters.
I grew up in North Caicos.
All right.
I grew up in North Caicos.
We got a lot of flower fritters around here.
I've lived in every island in Turks and Caicos. I was adopted for a little while.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. My lady.
Too?
Absolutely. I did 4 years in South Caicos.
All right.
I lived with Nellis Taylor, former teacher. Okay. I grew up under Nellis Taylor.
Okay.
I was adopted for a little while, and as you know, she was a teacher. So when she traveled, I had to go along with her.
Okay.
So it was me, Delano, Diego, all three of us. Like we all grew up under Nellis Taylor.
Okay.
I learned a wide range. In Nellis, that's the Inagua woman too.
I know.
So when it comes to them kind of dishes, she was throwing it down. And I was one of the ones in the house when she said, when she cooking, she ain't just had me sitting down. She bringing me to the stove with her. Hey,
show you how to.
yes.
That's good.
So she taught me tricks. And my mother's also a chef as well too.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Independent. Very good.
Yes.
So tell us a little about yourself, Sir Robinson.
My name is Clyde Robinson. I own Paradise Solution, a planning, development, and environmental consultancy on the island.
Okay.
I'm also a real estate agent. And my background, I've been in government for 26 years, all within the Department of Planning. The last remaining, I think, about 7 to 10 years as Director of Planning.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So I want to go back to the story now. So you've been on the Sapodilla Bay for 9 years.
Yes, sir.
And I know y'all, the vendors got a letter asking y'all to remove all structures into I think I saw the letter, and they asked you to move across the street, right? Is that what the letter said?
Correct.
So when you went there 9 years ago, how did you end up there 9 years ago? Did you get permission to be there 9 years ago?
Absolutely. So the first thing you had to do was you had to go into DCR and you have to first get your registration, get a business license, then go to the DCR to get an approval to be to the place there. Yes, to the vendor there. Then for some time after that, then that's where it all came down, where it was like, okay, because actually, let me start from the beginning with that first. We actually, everyone, when we first got there, everyone didn't have the full documentation of what they all asked for.
Right.
After all this came down, which was when the minister stepped in and said, okay, let's get them all regulated, make sure everyone has the proper license.
So that was in 2021.
Right. So we didn't actually have an actual vending license, a vending permit as yet.
Okay.
This was all put into place when the minister stepped in.
Because at that time, it was not a requirement.
There was no requirements, nothing. There was no fees paid. Only thing was paid is your business license and your registration. That was it.
But you had to get approval from the ECR.
We had to get an approval. But at that time, it wasn't. We only got a letter. That was it. There was no fee or nothing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Now after for some time, then we had to start paying a fee after all this came about.
Okay.
After they decided, all right, let's fully regulate everyone, because we had certain persons there operating with basically nothing at all. You know, so these were some of the points that a lot of homeowners were going at. Oh, there's unlicensed people here, blah blah blah. You know, so they fully got us regulated, and that's when we started like paying out the parks fee and all that stuff.
Yeah. And then there are also allegations that some of the vendors were encroaching on private properties. Is that so?
All right, when we call what's really encroaching? So we have
Basically, you set up a structure on land that belongs to someone privately.
okay. So everything was basically on the beach. So
So you on the public beach.
we were
there.
on the public beach basically.
I see.
Now-
you were not encroaching on private.
We can't say we were encroaching on the property because there was no boundary mark to where the coastal line was. We know where vegetation that is
Okay.
that's their land. The big stops at vegetation, right? So this property had no fencing system, no nothing. It was just an open piece of property.
Okay.
But everyone was situated on the sand. It might have been maybe a centimeter to close to their boundary. But when they had asked to move, the actual homeowner in the front, which is had asked to move off his property. Only thing the vendors had to do, that actually sat right in front of the beach. All they had to do was just move forward, and 5 feet forward. You know, so encroachment on this property meaning what?
Okay.
They as I said, the property wasn't fenced off, nothing like that. We had stuff that needed to get thrown away. We never had a proper garbage system in place, so old chairs and rack would not. It was right behind us.
Yeah.
But there was no fencing. There was no private property sign, no nothing, no trespassing sign, nothing. You know.
You want to share anything on that comment? Because that's one of the reasons. Because I know, because what happened is when I was reading where the government, attempted to purchase land for the vendors to be set up,
Correct.
compulsory acquisition. And the government lost that case. The owner, I guess, was able to prove to the court, and the judge went in favor of the owner of the land because the judge is saying it's not going to resolve the issues. There's still going to be sanitation issues. There's still going to be people encroaching on private property, and the judge also said that the government has an alternative location for the vendors. You want to tell us?
Yeah. Drexel, Jerome has asked me to assist him on this matter for the very same complexity of planning and developmental issues environmental that you're talking about. First of all, we're talking about sustainable development. And the 3 pillars of sustainable development is economic, environmental, and social. And it's all about utilization of our resource. And I notice this word sustainability is thrown all around the place. I put it in the paper talking about we're going to have a more sustainable approach to it. Well, if you want a sustainable approach to it, you cannot exclude the indigenous people. You cannot exclude the local vendors who benefit from tourism development. We cannot have a sanitized tourism environment where it's only benefiting expatriates. We're only benefiting people who come into our country buying expensive homes and simply want the beach to themselves. That's what that decision appears to be reading like. I think as long as they're not, and this is an easy solution to this problem. First of all, if we identify exactly where the property owners, where the property boundaries are for the individual private property owners, and there are not many along that beach, it is easy to say, bring the vendors, and you're talking about only less than 6 vendors.
Yeah, that's all you have?
Right now, our number is 4.
Right. You're talking about 4 vendors, right? And once we identify exactly, which appears to be obvious to me, and it appears to be no further encroachment. I've seen previously where there appeared to have been some intrusion onto the private property boundaries, because you can tell where the private property owner has stopped his wall, and it lines up with the other properties, which indicative of where the private property.
But
coastal
there are walls on the beach side.
Yeah, there's a wall coming right down, which appears to be clearly evident there. And I can't imagine his boundary extending seaward than that. So we're talking about crown land here. Forget about encroachment, because we're assuming an environment where there's no encroachment, which can easily be identified by survey markers. So we're talking about the environment excluding the private properties. We can work with the private property owners and come up with designs with all the issues that you're saying the judge identified, which appears to be material planning considerations, visual impact or aesthetics, and then issues of garbage disposal, which is an issue and can be resolved. Regulation, you can have the DCR regularly patrolling to ensure that there's no, and we can have decibel limitations set up for noise. And this can be resolved through and with the homeowners and the vendors, 4 of them working together. This is a minor issue. The lady in the area where Jerome is cited has already constructed a 6-foot wall. So that is a non-issue. There was a wall previously, and there's a second wall in the coastal environment, which prevents any type of intrusion onto that property, and that is where Jerome is located. So I think we can put, and then we need to amend the coastal vending policy to include, what is the point to include the coastal? What is the point in putting the vending area to the rear on the opposite side of the road?
Across the street.
The whole point of the being on the beach is to make it more attractive for tourists to sit, to enjoy the environment while all of the recreational facilities are provided. And that is, it's not a national park. There's no national park designation on that area. So excluding the vendors, you're simply saying you're going to have a beach only for the private landowners along there. And that's unfair. I mean, come on. If you're talking about sustainable development, you have to consider the livelihoods of the indigenous Turks and Caicos Islanders and other locals that are living on Providencia Islands within the Turks and Caicos Islands. I think what is being proposed as a very undesirable precedent for this entire country.
Yeah.
And also, if you take this for example, and you can see the prejudices if you dig deeper into it. All of the vending zones, in my opinion, are located in areas where the vendors don't want to be.
They're not on the beach.
Some of them that are on the beach are not in desirable areas.
Oh, okay.
And then if you look at it further, and Grand Turk, given the size of Grand Turk, less than 14 square miles, less than that, you have 25.
10 square miles, actually.
You have 25 vending zones. On Providencia Islands, there's 13.
So those zones they're on the beach?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because I get the impression...
Well, it says coastal vending zone.
Oh,
so they got to be within...
Because I get the impression that even the ordinance that was passed in 2021, I get the impression that this all started in Grand Turk, whereby it's alleged that tourists coming off the Carnival cruise ships were said they were being harassed by locals.
Well, I'm not going to get into the allegations. I'm a development planner, and my
my
job is to solve problems and look at solutions.
I understand that's where the ordinance came from.
That's right.
That's my understanding.
Right.
But you're saying there are 22 in Grand Turk
25
and 14
13 on Provo. So I think clearly there must be public consultation. I'll tell you something.
There should be.
I'll tell you something. One time, and there are two stewards, in my opinion, for this whole getting locals and supporting vendors. And I think one, Honorable Hilly Ewing. I remember one time when I was director of planning, he called a meeting, and it was the first time we had ever seen any.
What year was that?
This was, I know exactly when it was. It was just before the elections in 2003.
Oh, okay. So
Because
2002, 2003.
because right after that, Honorable former Premier Michael Missy came to government. So, and he said, we're going there. That's when all the vendors were settling around, beach vendors were settling around beaches resort. And we pulled together planning, health, business licensing, DCR, and all the other relevant government agencies. And our job was to go meet with the vendors and then tell them they're no longer going to be on the beach. And we had no idea as to how many was going to show up. So we went into the DCR center, and when we walked through the door, that place was full.
So there's a lot of vendors.
It was beyond what I could have ever imagined. And when Honorable Ewing walked in there, he made a complete 180. And he blasted us for messing with the vendors. So why wouldn't go in Grace Bay and mess with the people there? And then that was a complete, I laughed because I like that approach. And I that's where he put on his political hat. And I think that was the right decision, in my opinion. And then Honorable Michael Missy came to government, and he went on and said, well, we're going to go even further than that. We're going to build these vending areas ourselves. And we allocated all the beach accesses. We're supposed to have
An area,
a market,
designated?
a marketplace for beach vendors. And evidence of one today where have made many local entrepreneurs very successful.
Bingos.
It's the one between CloudMet and Ocean Club East.
Okay, yeah.
And there was another one down, which is called, I think they call it, it's further down by beaches, but that was supposed to initially be on the beach.
Yeah.
But that contractor took too long, and things changed, policy changed. But I think we have to continue along that lines. Sapodilla Bay has become a favorite site for tourists.
I know a lot of people go.
And yesterday, when they had the rally, I think it was clear and indicative that tourists and locals alike want to maintain Sapodilla Bay on the beach, not on the opposite side of the road, as a vending site. And I think the government must amend the coastal vending policy to allow for that to continue on the principles of sustainable development, which one is looking at the livelihoods of the indigenous people. That's what this is about. Otherwise, you're going to have everybody else coming into the country enjoying the benefits except the indigenous people, man. This is something which you find in every country, and this can be regulated. I think we can work with the landowners, the property owners along there, and say, hey, let's come up with a plan which can work for all, and which involves no issues of encroachment and setting limitations on noise and setting limitations on operations and setting limitations and control of the architectural design of one structure, because the others are currently removable. They remove the top and they leave simply the storage. Let me give you something which is very interesting. Every single resort along Grace Bay, their ancillary structures, their shade structures, and I see tons of storage buildings, et cetera, developing. They're all on Crown land. And let me give you the worst part of it. None of them pay a license, at least up to when I was director of planning. Not single one of them paid the government a license for use of the Crown land. But you're making the local entrepreneurs pay for use of government land on the beach. That is unfair. And we must take a comprehensive look at this whole beach vending, use of Crown land within the coastal environment. There need to be a comprehensive and fair policy.
So, I mean, I hear what you're saying about, the vendors and the homeowners come together. Have y'all reach out to the homeowners where y'all could,
They don't want to hear us.
or they don't want to meet with you?
They do. I'm in the process right now of putting together an association, actually. So I've heard, as I sent you in the email, I've already drafted up an association for us as vendors on that beach. Because one thing, unity is strength as well. We conquer numbers. So, but the homeowners, they will not hear us. The only thing we get from them when they come here is we get harassed by them, basically.
You really?
I mean, they throw words at us. I mean, we get harassed by these people.
I think we have to look at a different approach to that. But you hear what he's talking about when they reach on island. So you're talking about people who are here only certain times in a month.
But I think when they're not
those
here,
properties being used
for short-term rental
purposes. Is that fair?
Because my understanding, right? My understanding for some of the homeowners is they have their short-term rental properties there, and after they say there's so much noise, and as a result, they're not getting their place rented. And I believe that's probably some of the reasons why they went to court as well, because they say there's so much noise. No one is renting their place because you guys are out of order and all that stuff. So it'd be nice if the homeowners and you guys could come meet together.
Correct. And
Also of that opinion, I think that is the way forward. And I think the noise and all of that, I think I'm a regular there. I came there once. I sat at Jerome's bar and I thought, wow, I saw the sunset. I seen the operations.
And you didn't see much noise.
I've met people there that are now full-time, my friends, life friends.
Yeah.
So it has been a great place to hang out. And I think many other locals are regular there. I've seen the former premier, Michael Missick, is a regular there and all this. So I think that I've seen the current minister of tourism there. So I think it's a popular spot.
Yeah. I mean, I saw
and many other locals regularly go there. So I've met locals and became friends with much younger group of people that I would have otherwise not gotten the opportunity to do so.
But also a lot of their guests they participate.
the guests that stay in those universities.
That villa in particular, I'm also a private chef. That villa in particular behind me, I private chef in that villa all the time.
Okay.
I get bookings literally from folks in that villa. I get bookings online. I get bookings when people arrive on island. Once they walk outside that gate and they come down to the bar and they try my food the first time.
They like
it. Well, Jerome, we hired a private chef, but I think we're gonna have to call them and tell them we found someone. And boom, that's a booking right there for me. Yeah. Sometimes I get 2 nights in a row, 3 nights in a row sometimes.
That's awesome. So what is the plan?
But the noise started to sit clear, but the noise thing, that's something that can be regulated.
Yeah.
But bear in mind, we have guests that come and say, "Can you turn it up a little bit, please?"
Really?
Yeah. It's not just us. Of course, we need some entertainment, right? We have it to a level. You have guests number, "Can you turn it up some more, please?" I'm like,
Douglas, I think the plan is to bring the home. You're talking about a few
going forward. What is the plan?
Going forward, yeah. I think the objectives. First of all, again, let's be reminded we're talking about 4 vendors. I think, and you're talking about not even stretching, not even 100 feet along the beach, not even 50 feet.
So the 4 vendors is in one location.
That's right.
All in one location.
And I think we can I see this as possible. My personal observation, I see this the opportunity to even shrink that even more. And I think we can move it further away from the property owner's boundary. I think there's even possibility of saying to the various landowners, beach vendors, here's the design, here are the designs that we think can work, that the owners would find acceptable. It would give them enough view corridors to the beach. You wouldn't have these structures obstructing them. It would also allow them to have their guests to have lounge chairs on the coast and within the beach environment.
Correction.
And without any type of intrusion.
But every guest, every homeowner has the chairs there.
Yeah, Bill,
Every villa is not interrupted.
it would have been nice though if the government could have got that property.
Correct.
It would have been,
that
nice.
But I think let's work on the assumption that will be the best alternative. But let's work in the absence of that. I think we have to find ways, assuming that property is going to be developed by that landowner, and giving them the ability to enjoy the rights as
As a landowner.
do. And I tell you what, I'm also a landowner along the coast. And when we had that tiki bar came right in front of my house, I remember I was asked by some of the landowners to represent them and going to the government and have that tiki bar removed. The first thing I did, I called up, I said, give me some time to look at this. And I called up that owner, and I spoke to him, and I said, listen, I know you're a local entrepreneur. You're trying to make this work. Can you move it further out to the ocean, which will limit the visual impact? Can you keep the noise control, keep the noise to a minimal, which doesn't impact us? Can you keep the time frames to not late in the night or anywhere near after 7 o'clock? That guy has been reasonable, and if the music is loud, I'll call him up and say, can you turn it down? And it always works.
So that also shows that once you approach,
that's right,
and you
that's
reach
right.
out, and
that's right. And now when he move it during, sometimes I look at it and I think, wow. And I'll call him up and say, why you move and it's become a good place of entertainment for friends of mine and other. Every single property owner along that beach who previously complained, their guests now using that tiki bar.
that's amazing. That's amazing.
It can work, man. We cannot be taking this negative approach and always penalizing the local people for the advantage of others. I think this is an island. We have to make this work together, because this is how we've always lived, together.
So what are you going to do, Annie, in terms of, I know you were given a certain date to remove.
Well, now we have an extension.
You have an extension?
We've recently been notified that there's an extension letter for the 22nd.
I think they've given them 28 days.
28 days.
Which is illegal. I know we're under the planning ordinance. That's like the standard amount of time for enforcement action within which you have to resolve the problem. I'm hoping that within that time, the vendors can get themselves together, can approach the government, involve the landowners, and come up with a solution to this before we have chaos.
Yeah. I mean, do you know why that is it because of the court case that y'all were told to move?
Well, apparently the the government's been sued already. The government's been sued once already, right? So they've lost the court case
Oh, okay.
with homeowners. They've lost the court case. So I think with their fears to not have another issue like that come up to get to be sued again, because apparently as they're using the beach is not a vending zone, and apparently there was promises made towards, I guess, on their part that they have to keep their side of the bargain in terms of
Let's amend that policy to have.
We have to amend it. We have the strongest thing is to amend that policy.
So and that is what you want. That's what the vendors.
Right.
So do we want?
I think that's best.
To include that area, not all of it, just a specific area as you come in the access area, that immediate area, as a vending zone, which I think, and let's put limitations on noise. Let's put a specific time in the evening that everybody shut down and remove all of their ancillary facilities. Of course, there will be fixed structures, but let's create it to a minimal visual impact.
I understand.
And bring it up, elevate it to certain standards.
Right. And is there discussion going on among the vendors and the government, the relevant
I'm hoping that we can go ahead and initiate this discussion with the minister responsible for environment and the minister responsible for tourism.
Because I saw one article where the government said they support the vendors. So I'm not sure what that means.
Well, we'll see over the next coming days, weeks, in terms of how we move forward.
But But you say going across the street is not the solution.
That is not going to work. That is not going to work.
I mean, right now the beach is busy right now, right? Like I literally just got back from the beach before we got here, and we already have a problem of trap. Even you live in Chalkstand area, right?
I do live in Chalkstand.
I know it's hectic for you to get home.
Yes, I get upset sometimes. Because when I'm driving all those, I get upset sometimes.
Right.
The parking is horrible.
Structures there.
now
We're
what's
going to
gonna
put the
happen?
parking.
Exactly.
The parking is horrible.
Exactly.
You know.
So there's already no parking. So putting us in the parking lot, then what? Is there another piece of land to make parking lot there, which we don't have?
That
There's
is
already
should
no parking.
remain reserved for parking and continue to let's regulate. Let's put designs that can work. That is done in consultation with the few villa owners along there.
Right. So different from Sapodilla Bay, are there other beach areas where vendors are set up on the beach?
So yes, there's Shore Club Beach.
You have vendors on Shore Club
There's
Beach?
Shore Club vendors on Shore Club Beach. We have a beach bar up there. We have
Okay.
we have all the kite. So that's kiteboard city, we call it.
Okay.
All the kiteboarders on that side there. That's what they do. And kiteboards and jet skis.
And Drexel, if you really want to get complicated, the beach vendors can ask the landowners whether they have the planning permission for use of their premises for commercial purposes. Because if you look at their development permissions, I'm absolutely sure they all say private residential purposes. And no way, because if you were given to rent your property out as a guest house, then it should have been advertised and gone through the proper planning permission to be used as a villa. So a villa rental purposes. So that's an issue that will come up also.
But to rent your property, though, you need to get a business license.
That's right. But you also need planning permission because that's a change of use to the purpose for which the permission was granted. You were granted a permission for private residential purposes. If you were
for commercial.
That's right. Because if you were going to use that property for commercial purposes, I, as your neighbor, with my private residential property, should have been given permission to at least voice my concerns about noise. And I experience that right now with those type of properties, either sudden noise pollution at all times of the night. I've had to call the police on different occasions to address the noise pollution issue. There's other issues in terms of traffic. So I think if they really want to get complex in terms of addressing planning issues, that would have to be one of them.
Right.
That would have to be addressed.
What I'm hearing from you is, so if they could use their property for commercial use, you're
That's
saying
right.
vendors should also have a right to use.
That's right.
That's what I'm hearing from
Because
you.
that is never an issue that ever comes up.
I see.
And some of them have their properties with 5, 2, 3, 4 villas on it, at least broken up into different parts. Whereas there's a condition you'll find on most of those properties. Number one condition, at least when I was directed, that says your property must be used for private residential purposes only and not for financial gain. There's a condition to that effect. Yes, of course.
That's interesting.
And if you define private, commercial, and residential, there's two different things.
Yeah.
That's right.
They are. Yeah. So Jerome, you have 22 days. You say
28.
28 days to.
But you haven't received that letter that is asked to be 28 days anyway. Here's a bill served.
know about the 28 days.
I read it somewhere.
There's an article that was just posted
In the
yesterday,
newspaper.
Sunday.
okay. One of the
Yeah. But they have not received that notice.
We just happened to find it on
the article. He forwarded to me.
and this just I just found for it.
Yeah. But even too, I was taken aback, when y'all got the letter to move across the street, but there's no structure yet.
There's
That's
nothing.
right. That's right.
nothing there.
And the letter said 2 days.
Yeah,
or something.
no structure.
They've operated for 10 years. You ask them to relocate in 2 days.
The government has to build a structure.
That was never specified.
So it's set up because the million itself is enabling legal stuff.
Well, they started asking questions like, all right, so we can go right there and set up our structure. We don't need planning permission.
The way the letter is written is implying that, but that's not how it should be.
Right, but then
Of course not.
But then in one of the letters that you read earlier, where they said when they mentioned sanitation wise, no restroom. Okay, there's no restrooms on Sapodilla Bay Beach, but you're asking us to leave Sapodilla Bay Beach and go across the parking lot. There's no restrooms there either. So what's the
y'all
difference sanitation wise?
for restrooms, can y'all just order?
I have a plan.
Yeah, I think that can be on the other side of the road with the parking. I think that is something.
Because there are companies that provide temporary.
This is what I'm about to mention. So I have a plan. Which I
Restaurants.
need DCR to DCR and public health to approve, which is instead of because I don't like the idea of the actual porta potties. That's the little blue Lewis. There's actual like 5-star like porta potties, which is power operated. You know,
Okay.
because bear in mind we deal with food and all that as well too. You know what I mean? So there is a porta potty on island that I'm in discussion now with the gentleman to acquire for that beach.
Yeah.
I just need the DCR and environmental health to approve it.
Right.
You know, it's got a 5 unit in it. It's power operated by generator.
So you want to put it across the street?
I would love to put that across the street.
But I think these are the things that we got to sit down and resolve with government as to what is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
And not cause the disturbance or interference with the homeowners. I think, to be fair to them, I think we want to work with them. That is the approach I
Meet
think.
around the table.
That's
so,
right.
So what do the guests use now then?
We send everyone right now to they pay a fee and they use the restroom facilities at Las Pizzas.
Oh, I see.
So Rachel has accommodated them by charging a $3 fee, which I agree that it non-patrons she has water bill to pay, so she got to charge a fee.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's not, and it's good marketing for her as well too, because when they go, they say, "Oh, it's a restaurant." And so when they're done with the beach,
Yeah.
that's business promoter for her.
Do like how we grew up doing, right, Drexway, you know?
I know, right? Those good old days. So, what if you're not successful in remaining on Sapodilla Bay? What are you gonna do?
I think there's an option for
That's,
you, right,
I
Jerome?
don't think there's another option. I don't even think I want to think along the lines of
You
that.
don't want to think that way?
I want to stay positive. I would like to say that there is a way we can compromise. I want to say there is a way that we should all sit around the round table and you know, figure this thing out.
Yeah. And you're not,
I'm not looking
and
forward to.
those 4 vendors, you're not harassing guests.
We're not harassing guests.
You're not making a lot of noise.
Okay, so
You're not selling drugs.
I sell jerk chicken, peas and rice, mac and cheese. I sell cold beers and rum. My colleagues rent jet skis, and he sells cold beers and rum. The next lady sells cold beers and rum. Miss Anna's Hilton rents beach chairs and lounge. I don't think I can see Miss Anna's Hilton peddling drugs on a beach. I don't think that would
become further than Jerome and them. There's about the wider community as well who enjoy that spot
Absolutely.
during their recreational downtime where we go and chill. So it's become a local spot for many locals to go and chill. So I think it's beyond just the vendors. You have to look beyond that.
And these things, when they say these such activities take place, right? These activities take place on Grace Bay Beach as well.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean the vendors are doing
That doesn't mean the owners. That doesn't mean the entrepreneur vendors are doing it. These are external people coming in. You know what I mean? Like we're the internal people.
You don't recall seeing people come to do those things. No.
I don't recall seeing it.
Yeah.
You know, we had an issue with it before. No, but these are external people that's coming down.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? I'm going to stand up and say, hey.
And that's an issue beyond his
That's an issue for
control
the
anyway.
police.
I mean, that's beyond your control for you to worry about that.
Yeah. Well, do you have anything else you want to share before we conclude our show?
Well, I'd just like to conclude, Drexel, by asking the government to be fair to these people. And you have tons of hotels using the same beach environment. They're not even paying a license for use of those, their shade structures, their storage facilities for their tour operations, their umbrellas, their you see the big boxes and shade structures that they have, excluding the shade structures for the individual, the beach furniture. I mean, come on, man. These guys, just a few guys on their beach just trying to make a living. Let's do this right and not exclude the beach simply to have the enjoyment of 4 landowners who, well, in this case, specifically, these landowners will be 1 or 2. That simply, one property is not even developed. The other one probably they're using as a villa rental, so they probably never here or here at a limited time. Let's give these guys the opportunity to make a living for themselves and their families. And let's control it and do it in a way that is happy to all. And I'll conclude in that way.
Yeah. You want to say anything, Jerome?
I mean, what I like to say is, I would like for the government to actually let's compromise with us. You know, there is a way this can be fixed.
Yeah.
You know, let's, like as I said, let's sit down to the table and pitch something, man. There's this, because I mean, I have no other alternative. I have mouths to feed. I have families. These folks have family to feed.
And you've been there for 9 years.
We've been in 9 years.
Let's apply the principles of sustainable development. Let's apply the true principles of sustainable development.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, I wish you all the best. And I mean, I really think the best thing to do, I agree with Mr. Robinson, if everybody could come to the table and there'll be some sort of agreement. You know, there's certain terms, and you agree this is what you'll do, this is what you, I think it might be the best way forward.
And this is what I said.
And we want the homeowners to be happy. We want you to be happy as well.
Absolutely.
And I believe that it can be done. I think it can be done as long as we all do the same.
That's right.
Exactly. So I like the approach. And I do hope that that opportunity exists where you and the homeowners and the government can come to the table and say, okay, what can we do? What can we do to make everybody's lives better?
Yeah.
And, you know, so I wish you all the best. And thank you for sharing your story on the Jacksonville Seaman Show. And I hope that this story will also, you know, open the eyes of all those involved and see from different perspectives as well.
And thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. Seaman. I know you're going to have your article in the paper too on this matter. So
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to reading that.
Absolutely.
Your point of view.
Yes.
We do appreciate you for having us and hearing us and helping us send the message out.
Yes.
Because I think it's very vital that, because there's a lot of folks that does not know really what's going on. They're not hearing from the horse's mouth. Mm-hmm. They're only hearing parts of what's going on. Yeah. Which is why I really appreciate you taking the time with your busy schedule, sitting down with me and I call him my consultant.
Yes, you're consultant.
Consultant right now, you know what I mean? So, like Clyde,
You're a free consultant.
You know, I ended up Bill coming later. I knew that, but no, he's been very informational on
Advising you.
on advising me, and I mean, like there's so much things I didn't know about planning ordinance and all that stuff. There's so much things, I mean, that was brought to light to me. The enlightenment that he shared on a lot of things is an eye opener for me as well. Yeah. You know, which is why, Clyde, thank you very much for assisting.
And I've always enjoyed with you, man.
Just me.
Upon meeting you, it's been great. Integrating myself deeper into society.
Thank you. I do thank you very much. On behalf of Sapodilla Bay Beach, we thank you. Because right now, you are a hero right now. I'll tell you right now.
Thank you, Jerome.
I'll tell you that right now.
Thank you.
You and the rest of a few good men out there, the Drax as well.
Yesterday, and DJ Shakes and all of that.
DJ Shakes, I must commend Honorable Music.
That's right.
And DJ Shakes yesterday, they went at it yesterday. I mean, we were out there from 12 till like sunset, you know what I mean? And I saw Mike just getting involved.
And the number of expatriates that showed up to
Expatriates as well.
tourists. Oh,
Absolutely.
man, it was unbelievable.
Absolutely.
That was great.
Yes. We even had tourists getting involved. I mean, you know, these are positive insights that we really want the general public to acknowledge, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's why we had to put stuff out there, because everyone, like I said, everyone is just hearing what's going on, but no one is actually getting from the horse's mouth what's really been taking place.
Great.
You know?
Great.
Once again, I thank you, sir, for
you're welcome.
having us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Right. Wish you all the best. I'll be following the stories as well.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Take care.
Right.
Thank you.
Rise, rise up.